Yep. She's coming home. Long time coming. Off we go. Slowly repairing this rust bucket. So here's some rust all up through here, which I've cut out, and all the underneath the door handles was all rusted as well, so I've ground all that out as well, and yeah, put it all into etch primer. Found the same up here. It's all full of rust and all pitted under the hinges to the bonnet. Once again, we've ground all that out and rust killed the remaining stuff. Same around here on the strut tower. Yeah, just gonna turn all the top of this into black. It's a hell of a lot of work because the paint job that was in this is crap. It's just all like flaking away. So it's been a bit of an effort to try and get it to where I want it to be. Still got a little bit of work to do on this side. Have to sand everything down. With some surface rust coming up here. You can see it's pitted. Some rust coming through here. To grind that out, grind that off. This is in a lot better condition than the other side, but it still needs a bit of work. All seems to be built up underneath the like the sealer, like the panel gap sealer that they've put on. This side's nowhere near as bad as the other side was. I just need to do a little bit more grinding. Hopefully I won't have to take the door off on this side, and then yeah, I'll get the wheel off and get that out and paint all the other side. And I've got some underguard or undercast sealant to put in all four wheel wells to make it nice. But yeah, bit of work, but it'll be worth it. Got the door off. It's amazing what you can achieve in your garage. Just a bit of an update. Just cutting all the rust. Got some seam sealer back on there. Got it all painted. Put it into black. Still have the other side to go. And definitely sorted this out as well. Put wrapped a line under here. Got all underside and underseal done. So it's all looking pretty good. Andrew's come over to put a spot weld in this, which has been holding up for so long. Getting the welder going. Finally doing some GTIR stuff.
Yeah. Wholesale's on the road, bro.
I know. Well, it's a full turn circle, isn't it? Yep. Justin Rood's welding your one, you're welding my one, and they're all going to be going soon.
It must be Armageddon, bro.
The world is about to end soon. Too many pulsars on the road, it's not right. We all know every GTIR is connected to another one, and only one of them is allowed to work at one time, so when one's working, the other one doesn't.
So true.
It means a whole bunch of GTIRs are about to break somewhere around the world.
I'll seal it that one again. I'll just do some stitches or that.
Just do some fucking
No.
drag for it.
I'm just scared that if I do it, it's gonna fucking blow a hole.
Yeah, I know.
But I'll just do lots of little ones over it. Enough for Jeff to be able to seam seal it.
Eat your heart out, Mush.
photo? No.
Just finished putting some seam sealer on. It's a bit messy, but she'll do me, because that's not what this car's about. We're not about mucking around trying to make everything perfect with this. So after Andrew came around and put the spot welds back in, tack welds it all back up. Hopefully she's all going to look like this side. It's a bit dusty, but once we're finished, that'll do, eh? All painted. Just need to wrap to seal the underside of it and we're good to go. We're covered in dust, but all the wrapping's off. Sides are painted, rust sorted out, which is the main thing. Few big nights in the shed working on the gold GTIR project. Got the door back on and all aligned, which was a bit of a mission, especially by myself. Assistance of the jack, just propped it underneath the door and got it nice and straight to where it's closing good. So I'm pretty happy with that. Got it all back in there. Yeah, getting there slowly. Unfortunately, when I had this parked outside my friend's house, when my health wasn't too good, everything oxidized on it and went to shit. So I'm going to have to sand everything down with 800 grit and then 1200 and then 1500 and 2000 and then hit it with some polish and then some clear coat, gearbox, intercooler piping, intake plenum, little brackets and bits and pieces. I replaced some of the bolts that rusted, fuel filter which has got a bit of yuckiness on it, just to tidy it up. But paint's done, which I'm absolutely stoked about. Undersealed under the guards, which you probably can't see because it's the middle of the night and I don't have great lighting out here. So that's all undersealed. Got the coilovers on. Replaced all of the hardware with re-zinc plated stuff. Rebuilt the caliper, which was good. Refitted the custom tank, which does radiator overflow and is also a window washer reservoir. Comes up through here. Fitted in the custom oil catch tank. I just got to make the lines up for that. I've just pressed this out, which normally goes in there like that, and put in a AN fitting, press an AN fitting. So yeah, it's been a busy few nights getting this thing back up to spec, putting it back together, but I'm pretty happy with the progress. Yeah, hopefully I'll get some polish tomorrow, and tonight I'm just going to continue sanding. It's pretty boring, I'm not going to film it. It's just me hitting the paper on all the alloy to try and get it all back looking good. Ordered a few bits, which should be here in the next couple of days as well. 5-bar map sensor for the back of the intake plenum, because it's just running off the ECU's one at the moment, and a nice dress kit for to get rid of all those and just make it look a bit tidier. I'll also get a whole bunch of more zinc plated bolts and stainless bolts out and tidy everything up, give it all a good clean under the engine bay and make it look good. And yeah, I can get it back on its wheels. It fires up and starts, so in theory I should just be able to empty it out and go for a quick drive with it looking like this. Just trying to source a N14 front left passenger's guard and an N14 front, what are these called? Bonnet hinge. Just so I can get the bonnet back on, because the ones that were on it were all rusted and corroded and just gross, so they just went in the bin, as Marty would say of Mighty Car Mods. Yeah, just another nightly update. Hoping to have this thing out at GTIR Festival. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, not too sure if we're going to make it, but yeah, we'll push hard. If anything, I'm just going to take the flood damaged car down there anyway, because that thing's up and running. It's stock standard. We'll get wasted by everything, but it'll be a bit of fun. But if we can get this out, it'll be cool, because yeah, I'm thinking this should make a bit of power. Anyway, that's my ramble for the night. Cheers. You can see everything's just looking corroded and rusted and not so great. But we'll tidy it up. Yeah, we'll get there. Measuring the shim tolerances between the rocker arm and the camshaft lobe. We do that on the back end of the camshaft with the lobe facing up and the rocker like that. I'm just going to go through and check these. I assembled the head probably about a year ago, so I just want to make sure everything's alright. We don't have any weird ramp angles or anything like that, because I don't want a rocker flying off prematurely on the dyno. Check all the cam lobes, make sure we don't have any obscure strange markings. Doesn't look like we've got any grooves or anything forming, so that's good. What you'll need to do this is a set of feeler gauges. Now, I try and shim the motor to 0.006, which is in the factory manual. I think they say between 0.006 and 1.0 is within factory tolerance. I try and take it right back to factory, so you get rid of all that head chatter in play. I've got the advantage of having a little kit here, so lots of different spare shims, keepers, also got a lot of rockers as well, and then yeah, all of the shims that I've actually pre-measured, they're all bagged up with all of the measurements written on them, so it just makes things a lot quicker once I figure out what size shim I need. Then I can just put it straight in, you don't have to muck around. If you do need to measure, which you will, because you'll have to measure your the shims that come out, so you can figure out the ones you need. You can use digital caliper, and if you want to get real fancy, you can also use a micrometer. I've whittled this one down so it fits into the ends of the shims. But I found the verniers work absolutely fine. A lot of like machine shops will use these to measure shim tolerances, which you really should, I guess, to go in between the shim. But I found with the vernier, even if you just measure the diameter, 9 times out of 10 you're sweet as. So anyway, right, start checking these. Now as you start checking the tolerances, you'll have to use a 28mm on the end of a half drive, put it down onto the crank pulley and turn the motor so the cam lobes switch over so you can measure the different tolerances. Okay, so got that one sitting up. The compression on this motor is quite high, so it's quite hard to turn over by hand. So we'll test this lobe here now. Okay, so this one's a little bit tight. Can't get a 0.6 in there, but I can get a 0.5 pretty freely, so it's probably like a 0.055, I'd say. So it's just within tolerance, but I'll keep an eye on that one. This one down here, definitely do a 6. Can't do an 8, so we'll call it a 7, which is good. Alright, back to turning the motor over. All I'm saying, bro, is there's been no rotor content. Just this pulsar shit. It's getting really boring, eh? When's the next rotor content coming, man? I do have to admit, bro, like, this Nissan stuff is getting a bit old, eh? Maybe we should throw something up soon. Yeah, bro, like, we need to do some more rotor stuff, eh? I'm getting so bored. Hang on, is that a different hat that you're wearing? Like, from 3 seconds ago? I honestly don't know what you're talking about, eh? I only know 3 things. Bucket hats, bourbons, and, rotors, eh? Oh, yeah, anyway. Forgot what we were even talking about. He's out the gate. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And yeah, maybe we'll throw some rotary content up shortly once we get through this pulsar build. Peace.